Join us on another adventure with Wild and Free Interior Alaska, where we explore life off grid in remote Alaska, sharing our experiences either building in a challenging environment, hunting, fishing, trapping, and family time, just to name a few, and so many more adventures. What are we waiting for? Let's go! If you've been watching some of our videos, you saw that we trapped a marten, a few of them actually. And so today I'm going to show you how we're going to take care of processing our marten so that we can tan its fur. So this little guy is a pretty decent sized marten, and it was frozen, so it was frozen out on the trap line. We've kept it frozen ever since, and then we thawed it for about a day and a half, so he's still a little stiff, which is fine, but he's not, frozen. We don't want him to get too thawed. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to make a cut right below his little ankle. All right, here we got one little guy. It's actually quite tough getting through his fur. All right, so we got one cut there. We're gonna do it on this side as well. Got our second one there. Then we're going to pull up this cut. We're gonna cut right along his leg, and then just above his, well, this is a boy, so his swizzle stick. Just above that, we're going to make a cut all the way there, just below his little vent hole. Yeah, his vent hole. So that's where we will start. Let me just start by saying I am in no way a professional at all, by any means. Definitely an amateur, a novice, however you would like to word it, when it comes to skinning an animal to save their fur, hide, so that you can tan it. However, I thought to myself the only way to get better is to actually do it. And practice will make this much better. But in order to do it, you have to get started somewhere, and I thought maybe some other people are struggling with figuring out exactly what to do, so I would share how I am starting getting into this so that others feel a little bit more confident and comfortable to do that. So after you make those cuts down along the legs, you are going to cut straight across above that swizzle stick, and then kind of cut out around the anus area. Make sure you watch for that little vent gland. You don't want to trigger that and make it all stinky. And once you've got that kind of cut away, you'll then start working your way up the tail. Just gonna rip that out. Oh, there he goes. All right. The next step is his tail. So we're going to go up, right from the bottom up to his tail.
A little bit. You can. We'll make a special tool for it.
Yeah, I don't have that. Also using my not well hand. Very difficult. As I mentioned, they do make a special tool for removing the tail. And while I don't have one and I have been successful without it, maybe if you don't want to make a mistake, what you're about to see, I recommend maybe investing in one. However, it is entirely possible to do it without making a mistake. I was a little bit limited here with using the knife and maneuvering my hand because, as you can see, I do have a splint on my hand. I severely sprained my wrist just a few days ago, and it's not allowing me to move the knife where I need it to and grip it fully, so that did make things extra challenging, but no excuses for this mistake. So what you'll do is once you kind of cut around the anus to release that area, watching out for that vent gland once again, you're going to start going up the tail, all the way up the tail as far as you can. My mistake is I didn't go far enough, so cut that little guy all the way up. Once we've got these cuts made, you have to be careful of his little scent glands back here. This little sac. Right to the side of it. Do you hold his legs? It's helpful if you either have them stretched out or somebody to help you hold them. So now that we've got it, we're just gonna start peeling them off. It's really just a matter of using your hands until you've got your initial cuts. Work it around his thigh. And now that I have my hand through, I don't know if they can see. How close is it? Go check. Like, yeah.
You can see the whole thing.
Okay. Alright. So as you can see now, I just use my hands and I just start pulling them off. And then once you get to this part, we leave his feet behind. So we'll start working on the other side. I'm gonna hold the leg. Cut this guy away a little bit, open it up. Alright, so there's his leg. Then they make a special tool for the tail, but I started it. Oh, I didn't do it as well this time. So they make a special tool for the tail so that you don't rip it, but here we are, we ripped it off. Didn't get as easily pulled. Pull out his tail. Now you have to pull back from here. So that happens and I don't have two hands on it this time. So in theory, his tail shouldn't have been ripped apart, but that's okay. We're just using these for ourselves. So we'll still take care of his tail and use him for probably a little keychain. We can make a good keychain. You do have to try to get out. Oh, you might have gotten it all. Yep, you got it all. All right. So they make a special tool. Mistakes made, we'll talk about that, is that I didn't open it up far enough and I didn't have two hands on this. This is why having somebody hold it or having it stretched is helpful, because if you had had the hands on it, you would have been able to rip them all the way out without actually ripping it off. So, are you in the camera? Yeah. Okay, so I have the help of a person to hold him. Oh, he's a buddy one. Let's put him back over here. I'm sorry, buddy. Okay, ready? Then you just start pulling it. And then once you've gotten close, you're gonna make those cuts again. Just close the leg, cut it free, slash it. Now I know this next part looks a little gruesome, however, this is the best method. Some people will have it hanging from the ceiling and tied off, but I just have my husband to help me. So if you have a second person, they can hold it, and then you're going to gently pull that hide all the way back. You're going to roll it all the way back, and then when you get to the joints, you will simply pull those out after you saw that cut.
So you'll see that where we made that one little slash in it, as you pull it out, you're left behind with this little paw. And once again, this next one's left. So then we'll start working our way towards the head, which once we get really close, we're gonna have to start cutting. A little bit. Take it around these ears. So we've opened it up. Take it up closer so you can see his ear there. Now we're just going to carefully start helping move this along because we will need to separate that.
Once you've got those front legs out, the next part, once you roll it down to the head, is a little bit more tedious and time consuming. So you have to carefully cut away at that skin to free it as you work it around the ears, making sure that you take off only what you need is a little challenging, but you'll kind of see it. So just slowly and carefully work around it, freeing that head. Of course, I probably could have used a different, smaller, better knife to be in there in these tight little intricate spaces, but it works. It just takes time and patience and perseverance. And so as you slowly free those ears and cut those off, you'll be able to continue pulling it down, and you'll need some support so you can hold that tension as you see there so it's nice and tight, and every tiny little knife mark will slowly start to carefully free it without putting any tears into it. Then you'll get closer and closer and be able to work around the eyeballs once you've freed the ears. And so you'll once again kind of see where it goes, follow along that skin without puncturing through your hide, just gently freeing it as you continue to pull for that tension. It'll help it all slide. I freed the eyeballs right there, and then it's going to pull down to his mouth, and you'll just continue cutting that and then open up his little mouth at the end and tear it all off. You'll be able to come out with the nose. Once you've gently and carefully done that, give him a good little pop, pull that tension, slice it ever so slightly just so that it can get free, and there it is.
So then we're left with this guy, and he is going to go to our chickens. In case you've never seen their mouth up close, they have extremely sharp teeth. So it's pretty impressive for as little as they are, just how sharp their teeth are. All right. So yeah, I'll admit, not the best job. Lost his tail. Don't have a special tool, but that's okay.
Scary of you.
Okay, so now we're using a ski pole. Really, just any piece of wood you have, but oh, sorry, a ski. Yeah, it's a ski, an actual ski. My bad. Because it fits perfectly with these guys. They're not too big. So this is what I've used as my surface, but it can be really whatever you've got. You'll use a combination of a spoon and designated tools as well if you like. But next you're going to begin scraping. So there's all the membrane on here, and we're going to try to get off as much as possible.
A next part of this that's pretty tedious is scraping down all of that membrane. It takes a little while. You'll just keep scraping and scraping and scraping. You can't really be too tough, especially with a spoon. There's really no risk of puncturing it when you're using the spoon, but if you're using the other tool with a sharper edge, just be careful. But you'll try to get as much off as possible. The tanning solution that I used was just from our local outdoor sportsman store. It's called Deer Hunters and Trappers Tanning Hide Formula. It comes in an orange container. I'm sure you can kind of find it anywhere. I hope you've learned a little bit of something from this.
After we use the spoon, You get off as much as you can. Not all of it's going to come off easily. You're going to do more scraping throughout the tanning process, so you get it down as well as you can. And then this next stage, we'll be salting it. So we're going to heavily salt it with just your regular table salt. Then we're going to fold it back up into a little ball so that all the skin is touching the skin with the salt on it. And we're going to let it sit. And then we'll continue through the tanning process where we'll do that again. Then we'll rinse it off entirely, put it in a saltwater bath solution essentially to sit for 12 to 16 hours, and then we'll clean them off again, this time with soap and water after that. Then we apply our tanning solution, let that sit, skin side out, and then we'll rotate it so that his fur can dry after. Then you rotate him back, then he continues to dry and you stretch him, and voila, you're done. But that's essentially how you roughly skin a marten with just a few tools at home, nothing special. This isn't any quality that we're going to be selling these furs or doing anything like that. It's just for our own use, so no, it's not perfect, but it gets you started with figuring out how to get to be a more, professional at it, but that is not us. So these are the two martens that we have done. You watched me do the one where I goofed on his tail. This one, his tail is good. His tail is up here, so we still got it. These guys have now been through the process I explained at the end. I stretched them, and as you stretch them, you'll see that you will end up turning it to white. I don't use any special tools to stretch. It was just my hands, so they probably could have been thinned and stretched more, but they are good. They are dry. They are soft. They are ready to be turned into something amazing. So we're likely gonna do like a helmet cover or a hat or something. But these are our two beautiful marten furs that we gave it our best try at tanning. So yeah, they are done. They are ready. They're just been drying out, waiting, and we're going to make them into something very cool.
Thanks for joining us.
Give us a like and subscribe and follow for our next adventures on Wild and Free
Interior Alaska.